All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to 22 Panels. This is the podcast that aims to examine, explore, and of course, elevate the medium of comics. I am Tyler, and across the interwebs from me is Tad. Hey, Tad, I've got a question for you. Do you do that when you do your interviews and I'm not here?
I I I don't normally do it, but
Okay.
but I think I randomly did it on one recently.
Did you? Because
I did.
I rarely listen to how you start out the show. I usually just edit your
Gotcha.
audio, you know what I mean, and watch the levels
Right.
and all that kind of stuff. Um,
Right.
so I should do that just to
No,
see
I,
how.
I I don't think that I do very often, but I do. I feel like it was the Heavy Metal Book Club. It came out for whatever reason.
Oh, the December '78 one, I think maybe.
Right.
That's the one I just put up.
Right. Right. So,
Nice. All right. Well,
yeah. I don't
so a
do
little.
Thwip Thwip as well as you.
I just get a little hyper when we start the show. I'm like, oh my god, I gotta say something. Um, yeah, Diamond I see is in trouble, huh?
I mean, they've been in trouble for a while, but they filed bankruptcy this week. So like all bets are off in terms of what comes next.
Right. I mean, is this the
Most of the
precursor to them
stores,
shutting their doors?
I mean, they're for sale. So
They are. Oh, I didn't know that.
I mean, that's how bankruptcy normally works. So it kind of
Oh,
depends on who buys them. Um, because they'll have their sounds like they've got a line of credit that might mean that they can just restructure. Yeah, what exactly it's going to look like is still very much in the air. Um, but most of the stores I know that haven't already started ordering anything they can order from people that aren't Diamond have started ordering anything they can order from people who aren't Diamond. Um,
yeah.
Image Image announced that they'll no longer wholesale through them.
Okay.
Diamond is
Ooh,
making it out to be that like that's only for this week and like we're working on it. Image hasn't actually given any real indication that they're working on it.
yeah.
Um, Vault has announced that they will distribute direct to retailers as well as through the other channels that they already distribute through. But if retailers want to set up accounts to distribute direct to them, they will.
Okay.
Um,
Is anybody
that
going
sort
with
of thing.
Lunar?
I mean, lots of people. I mean, Lunar's been the only way to get DC for a while. So,
Yeah.
more and more, and most shops have had very little trouble with Lunar.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, Lunar
Hmm.
orders are getting upped. PRH orders are getting upped. Because Marvel is through PRH. Now, Marvel also had a wholesale contract through Diamond, so you could still go to Diamond, but you didn't have to go to Diamond.
Right.
Um, so, I mean, really, um, off the top of my head, the only two publishers with any sort of footprint whatsoever that you can only get through Diamond are Dynamite and Distillery. Um, But Distillery has enough of a mail order operation already that I'm pretty certain that if Diamond falls through, they'll be able to pivot to either direct to store or another distributor pretty easily. I don't know Dynamite's set up well enough. There's been a lot of talk about things being a lot of hyperbole about how it's going to hurt the small publishers most. Um, I don't know if that's actually true. Um, it feels like the we've had small publishers that we didn't really see through Diamond already pop up through um, Lunar, so I don't really understand why there would be anybody who's previously at Diamond that couldn't transition to Lunar or other places. Um, I always forget his name, but the guy who runs ICV2 and who used to run
Mhm.
Capital City had set up already set up kind of a small press exchange, where you can do all your ordering in one place, even though they get shipped from different places. Um, it's going to be an interesting story for 2025.
For sure.
Um, but I don't know if I'm as gloom and doom about the overall state of the industry because of it as some
Some
mostly
people.
old school comic shop owners are.
Yeah. Well, I'm just getting, it's really getting tough on Wednesdays not having comics because now I don't go to the
Yeah.
comic shop till Friday.
No, I get
Uh,
it. I get it.
and
And that's one of the reasons that I'm not worried about it is like stores have already started finding other ways to get as many books as they can because Diamond hasn't been shipping on time for a while now.
yep, yep,
Um, so we'll see.
yeah.
We'll see.
Oh my,
Uh the next one is just because I get to talk about this in a way that uh I can say it's excellent because I read my advanced reader copy. That's one of the reasons that I didn't read as much One Piece as I could have this week. B, Paul Karasik, who's the cartoonist that was in charge of the adaptation, keeps popping up in different ways on this podcast because he wrote How to Read Nancy, which was one of the things I read and one of the things that came up a fair amount during our Nancy podcast.
yep,
Um, he wrote The Ride Together, which is the book that Britt and I will be talking about tomorrow morning on the podcast. Um, and he had already helped adapt the first of Paul Auster's New York trilogy, City of Glass, with David Mazzucchelli, which um, Mark Prott and I talked about during a pulp plotter. So Paul Karasik has popped up in many different ways on this podcast. So when I saw that he was finishing Paul Auster's uh, kind of postmodern noir New York trilogy, I was very excited and I applied for an advanced reader copy and I got it. And therefore I've gotten to read Lorenzo Mattati's Ghosts and Karasik himself's what was the name of the third story? Give me a second. Um, I really liked the third story, but I don't remember the name of it right now. You know how that works sometimes.
I do. Yeah, I do that all the time.
Uh,
You'll find
sure.
it.
The one time it opens to the last page, The Locked Room was the name of the last story. Um, they're kind of, I don't know how to, I mean, I don't know my literary terms well enough. So some people who know what postmodern means probably already know what I'm talking about. Um, but for somebody who doesn't know the specific language of literary criticism, um, I think what I'd say is they're like mystery by way of like Picasso or Picasso during his abstract period or David Lynch, only not as dark as Lynch
Yep,
and not as silly as Picasso. Does that make sense?
I do. Yep.
You know, where there's almost as much examination of language and thought as there is mystery, but it's kind of set up in a noirish style.
Yeah.
City of Glass has a lot of Don Quixote in it. Um,
That's cool.
Yeah. And yeah, so yeah, I really enjoyed this read this week. And am really excited that in April Pantheon will be releasing the whole trilogy together.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'll have to
Um,
pick that up.
you will. No, this is totally your time. I mean, City of Glass was already a book that I totally would recommend to you. And
Yeah, it
ironically,
sounds like it.
had just given, or I guess I didn't give it to him because we were at the bookstore together. I just recommended and had a friend that I'd met for like our post Christmas get together, and we wound up at a bookstore, and I saw it, and I put it in his hands, and it went home with him.
Oh,
So
that's
like right
awesome.
before this, I had put City of Glass in a good friend's hands and said, "Hey, you should read this."
I'm looking it up
Um,
right now.
so
Nice.
um, so yeah, and then in not as pleasant news that I don't really want to dwell on at the
Sure.
moment.
No, I
Uh,
get it.
Trump 2.0 starts tomorrow.
Yep.
And I guess the big thing that I'm gonna like throw out there because nobody understands what it is, and everybody thinks that it's a plaything, and it really isn't. Um,
Okay.
we hit the debt ceiling on Tuesday. The debt ceiling is not about borrowing more money. The debt ceiling is not about spending more money. The debt ceiling is about paying the bills we already have. The debt ceiling is about the full faith and credit of the United States. You know, certain disingenuous people have loved to make it out that oh, we can't raise the debt ceiling because we need to get spending under control. Blah 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 blah. Um, that's the equivalent of saying we need to get spending under control, so we're not going to pay the electricity bill. We need to get spending under control, so we're not going to pay our water bill. We need to get spending under control, so we're not going to pay our credit card bills.
Yeah.
This is one of the few places where what happens to people and what happens to government is actually kind of similar.
Right.
As a human being, if you don't pay your bills, people won't lend you money.
Hmm.
As a government, if you don't pay your bills, people won't lend you money. If people won't lend you money, they also stop believing in your currency because they have to worry that you're just going to print it to pay money, which is the wrong, way wrong kind of inflation.
Exactly.
Right now, the US currency is like the standard currency for world trade. The US is the standard for full faith and credit.
Right.
But if we ever I mean, the first time there was that huge fight over the debt ceiling, God, 10 years ago, I remember reading an article about it to my, at the time, like 8-month old nephew.
Hmm.
And the whole family laughing that I was talking so seriously. I'm like, no, this needs to sink in now. Um, Stock market crashed by 10 percentage points one day just because they were still talking about not increasing the debt limit.
Hmm.
There are people who seriously worry about the possibility that even prolonged discussions about not raising the debt limit could do irreparable harm to the global economic system.
Hmm.
And the day after inauguration, with a full right wing Congress,
Yep.
we need to raise it. Um, it seems like Trump has figured this out because he actually wanted the last budget bill to include a permanent elimination of the debt ceiling, but he couldn't get that past his own party because So many of the people in Congress have drunk the Kool-Aid and don't understand what it is.
Hmm.
So it's going to be interesting to see what happens on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, as much as I love comics, as much as I want all of this to be about comics, there are certain things that'll make it so that we don't get many comics anymore.
I know. Yeah.
Um, Global economic collapse is one of them. Um, I mean, for that matter, Trump tariffs is one of them. Most of our comics are printed in Canada and China, in large part because at this point, there just aren't US printers to print them at.
Right.
You know, it's not like we can just decide to move our business back to the United States.
Well, Trump
There's
thinks we
nobody to
can.
move it to.
Yeah.
Nobody to move it to. So let's talk some new to order books.
Yeah. My
Mad
room
Cave
that I'm in is
Studios.
cold, so I'm shivering.
That's why I got my Chewbacca snuggie on.
That's why I got my Superman hoodie on, but it's just not warm enough.
Eh. From Mad Cave Studios, Blade Forger #1 from Roy and Inaki Miranda. The discovery of Corum, a never seen before energy source, led to a bloody world war for its control. After years of destruction, the lords of the lands agreed to negotiate a ceasefire for lasting peace. The Blade Forgers Treaty was born from that meeting. This treaty established that the mining of Corum would be centralized through one government led by a neutral emperor. The emperor would have to be a blade forger or mystical swordsman and claimed the title in a tournament called the Tournament of the Five Rings. Every 5 years, blade forgers from every corner of the empire would fight for the possibility of becoming the new emperor. A young blade forger named Owada challenges the emperor in the name of the Forsaken People. This is the story of what happens next in stores March 5th.
That looks really cool.
Again, Mad Cave Studios.
All right. This is Defiant from Chuck Austin and Patrick O'Leaf. New distillery science fiction debut from Chuck Austin and prolific Marvel and DC artist Patrick O'Leaf. On his final mission, Sandusky returns to the stars to reclaim his son Devin's body and uncover the truth surrounding his son's death. Let's see here. Light years from home, among a cascade of twisted metal, Sandusky finds Devin, his body entombed the remains of his ship. The Defiant lost in a massive battle with that sparked an intergalactic war. But nothing is what it seems. As Sandusky digs deeper, he and his allies are drawn into a galaxy spanning mystery, one that holds secrets far darker and more complex than anticipated. Can you scroll a little bit for me so I can see the rest of it? All right.
In stores March 12th.
Yeah, in stores March 12th.
From Distillery. Yeah. Peacemaker presents the Vigilante Eagly double feature. They give peace a bad name. DC Studios, James Gunn steps in as story consultant for 5 issues of insane Grillix calamity when 2 fan favorite characters share the spotlight and equal page count. The Vigilante story starts when Peacemaker has disappeared. It's up to Adrian Chase, the Vigilante and Peacemaker's bestest friend, to find him. The new crime bosses of Evergreen must pay. Blood will be spilled. Oh, wait. You say Peacemaker is just on vacation? Oh, don't tell Adrian. Meanwhile, Eagly and his sidekick, Chris Smith, aka Peacemaker, are exhausted. After kicking the Grillix out of a bunch of Nazi lizard dudes, it's time to head to the great outdoors for some fresh air and much needed vacay. But when their commute is co-opted by a bunch of masked Grillix, it's up to the certain Eagle hero and his pet human to get themselves and some dumb innocent folks out of quite the pickle. Will lives be lost? Duh. An original DC Comics story inspired by James Gunn's visionary Peacemaker series on Max. You best get ready to rumble. From James Gunn, Tim Seeley, Rex Ogle, Mitch Gerads, and Matteo. It's covered up. Lally. It wasn't covered up as much as I thought. Matteo Lally, in stores March 26th
Cool.
from DC Comics.
Yeah. All right. Red Sonja Attacks Mars from Jay Stevens and art by Fran Strucken. New master of horror comics, Jay Stevens, and Red Sonja artist Fran Strucken stirs some adventure and dark comedy into a cauldron of ancient Hyborian terrors. While serving out a life debt, Red Sonja uncovers a sinister prophecy of cosmic foulness from beyond the stars and must trek from the deserts of South Hibernia all the way to the northern shores of the Viliette Sea to face down the insidious invaders of Mars. Serpent men, undead Martians, gender swapping, ape men, metamorlocks, Martian pirates, angry ancient gods, an owl with a human face. Don't miss this retro sci-fi fantasy epic that is sure to take you places you didn't imagine were possible. This will be in shops March 19th from Dynamite.
Yeah, I thought you'd like the Jay Stevens part of this.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I thought that was
Yeah.
cool. I do like Red Sonja a little bit. I like
In the right hands.
yeah.
Mark Russell did a great run.
Yep. Agreed.
Solomon Kane, Serpent Ring, from Patch Zurcher. At Titan Comics, the Solomon Kane is back. The Sword of Vengeance slashes into his own new series, Solomon Kane, the Serpent Ring. Kane battles from the Barbary Coast across southern Europe to the canals of Venice as a band of rogues forms around him in the quest for the fabled Serpent Ring of Set. It's the much-anticipated return of Solomon Kane from Patch Zurcher in stores March 26th.
All right, Vampirella from
Christopher Priest has done really,
yes.
really impressive stuff on Vampirella.
Yep.
I didn't know I liked Vampirella until Christopher Priest started writing Vampirella.
And then art by Ergun Gundas. The team of Christopher Priest and Ergun Gundas returns as The Long Night Begins. Vampirella's infant son, stolen by her evil twin Draculina, has finally been returned to her. But Vampy does not know the baby, has been bonded with him, and lost and alone begins spiraling into post-mortem depression. A mysterious
Postpartum.
What did I say?
You said postmortem.
Postpartum. Oh, whoa, that's way different. Postpartum depression. That's way different. A mysterious figure named Cicero arrives claiming to be Vampirella's infant son, somehow transported 40 plus years back from a dark future wherein Vampirella, consumed by bitterness, has become the Witch of Ash Thorn, a ruthless matriarch responsible for a nuclear holocaust. Having finally rescued her baby from Draculina, Cicero begs Vampirella, for his sake and the sake of the world, to give the infant back. This will be in stores March 26th, also from Dynamite. Now on to graphic novels. Espada, the Will of the Blade. Espada.
No
L. Okay, Espada, the Will of the Blade from Annabel Collazo. From Spanish cartoonist Annabel Collazo comes Espada, a tale of a young princess and her quest to carve out her own destiny amid a lineage of power. There was a time when everyone had access to magic, until a dispute for power attracted a demon from another world who destroyed everything. Or so legend has it. However, there is another very different apocryphal version, according to which a hero carrying a sword came to the kingdom to guide and protect its people. But who was that hero and what became of him? Why is the queen now the only person capable of using magic? Attracted by all these enigmas of the past, Ania, princess of the kingdom and heir to the throne by imposition, will try to find out the truth of these magical fables now that she has just found a mysterious sword. This is going to be in shops May 7th, out from Oni Press.
The Lost Sunday from Elena Sudukan. Lost Sunday, her Eisner Award nominated all ages tale about the need for free time in the midst of our busy everyday lives. Nina lives in a dusty town haunted by the six angry wolves of the week: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Each day brings never ending chores and drudgery. Legend speaks of a seventh day to rest, Sunday, but everybody knows an evil witch stole it and keeps it locked away. When Nina finally says enough is enough, she sets out on an ambitious quest for rest. But will she be able to vanquish the witch and bring back the lost Sunday? Inspired by old folklore and fairy tales, this story shines a magical light on a present day problem: burnout and the importance of leisure. A great read for kids and adults alike, in stores June 18th from Oni Press.
All right. Foothold, Rigsby, Wisconsin. Rig from S.E. Case. Rigsby, Wisconsin, 2002, is just another nowhere town. But Bethany has finally found some stability here, far from the baleful, watching eyes of her oppressively disapproving mother. Jody and Eric are welcoming new friends, and even Anna seems happy to make her feel at home, despite hints of issues even bigger than hers. Amid the placid, scenic, small town beauty, the teens of Rigsby are roiling with struggles over what might come next, where to turn, and what's standing in their way. And when Bethany and Anna decide to go to the homecoming dance together, the thread starts to unravel. From Iron Circus Comics, this is out March 5th, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, March 5th.
We all got something. After a rocky attempt at living in London with his partner, Lawrence finds himself single, broke, and back home in Compton with his mom and great aunt, moping from bed to kitchen table and back to bed again, with long layovers on the front porch to sit and watch the world pass him by. Everything had been so good: a degree, an animation internship, paid music gigs, the perfect girl. How the heck did Lawrence get knocked so far down, with such little semblance of his former life remaining to hold him together? Lawrence Lindell's heartbreaking and heartwarming We All Got Something recounts a tragic and random act of violence, the PTSD that follows, lost love, and coming to terms with the underlying mental health crisis sabotaging it all. A testament of the healing power of art and the vital role community plays in the process, Lindell's graphic memoir is deeply personal and specific, but also relatable because we all got something. In stores
I,
April 30th from Drawn and Quarterly.
I love the cover. The arms,
Yeah.
the spaghetti noodle arms are so great.
Yeah.
All right. Yucatan 1512 from Alex, is it Vidi? The first
Fading,
original
something like that.
Vede, the first original graphic novel from artist and writer Alex Vede, an evocative and immersive journey into the depths of vengeful and vibrant world of violence. An expedition of Spanish soldiers make landfall in the Yucatan Peninsula in 1512, seeking a legendary city of Mayan gold. Sorolla, a grizzled old soldier full of remorse, seeks oblivion on foreign soil. When his commander slays one of the native inhabitants' only family, Sorella rebels against his troop to save the child. The quest for the city of gold turns into a manhunt. The pair flee through the jungle, seeking sanctuary from the onslaught of the Spanish soldiers at their heels. But deep in that jungle, in the heart of the ancient city, rests monstrous warriors waiting for a vengeful summons. This is out from Dark Horse and will be in shops May 21st.
Couple we actually are all done with collections, so we're going to skip to final order cutoff. A couple of final order cutoff items. We've got the Tiger's Tongue from Maverick Mad Cave. Under the militant rule of the Tiger's people, empowered by their animal familiars, the Claw is on the brink of war. At the precipice of adulthood, twin princesses Kalindi and Eridani hold the future of the Claw in their hands. Kalindi would sue for peace with the Rivers people, those who were subjugated, to bring order, while Ardani has never aspired to rule. But an ancient prophecy is revealed that'll force fate's hand for the sisters. And Usagi Yojimbo, 10,000 Plums #1. One of the Shogun's samurai strongmen becomes immediately suspicious when Usagi Yukichi and Jen are found wandering in a huge field of the Shogun's prized plum trees. With a series of strange events gripping the local village with fear, can their appearance be a mere coincidence? In stores March 5th. And some Kickstarters. We've got Ink Portal, an indie anthology magazine, the debut edition exploring the unknown through 5 distinct stories that are either horrific, whimsical, or something in between. Um, this is from Gravity Paper Studios and on Kickstarter through February 2nd. Sancha and Blanco. Sancha yearns for a freedom her brother Blanco cannot comprehend. Its first 2 issues of the Canine Fairy Tale are available from Ray Chow through and MythWorks through February 4th. Hank Howard Pizza Detective.
This looks awesome.
Over 200 brand new pages of Hank Howard action from Robert Venditti and David Lapham from Bad Idea on Kickstarter through February 6th. And remember that this is the one that has the crazy tier.
Yeah.
Where for
tier 5, I think it was tier 6.
Tier 6 for $160, as well as getting all of the previous stuff. So you get like you get your Hank Howard hardcover, you get your Slice of Life 0 issue, you've got your Bad Goods #1, you get the Hero Trade Howard #1, you get a live pizza Q&A with Robert Venditti. And I think you get a digital copy of the book, but I forget because it's a Bad Idea, and that's not a guarantee.
Yeah.
They don't always do digital. But on top of all of that, you literally drawn into the story by comics legend David Lapham, and we will print you your very own limited 1-of-1 copy of the version of the story where you are the star. Once in a lifetime opportunity is so special that each and every one of us at Bad Idea is planning to personally purchase this tier and get ourselves drawn into Hank Howard history.
I'm tempted to do it.
I might have.
You might have. That's awesome. That's awesome.
I love me some David Lapham.
Yep. Well, you'll have to definitely share with us how it turns out. Do you have to like give him a picture of you?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
Anyway, California Inc., the complete series. In the near future, California becomes a corporate company with factions fighting to shape the new nation. From Arthur N. Ebuin, who started his career as an animator with The Simpsons and Futurama. And illustrated by Dave Law. This looks like a cool book.
Yeah, it does.
And finally, from friend of the podcast, Greg Burnham, along with Leo Stevens and Jamie Rochelle, we have Bridges, a new and exciting comic book series featuring 4 teen superpowered girls who must band together to save their beloved Oakland, California from a group of evil bioterrorists with the goal of taking over the entire Bay Area. Our team is young and still a little bit green, but with their abilities and the guidance of the council, their amazing parents, they will always figure out a way to rise above. And that one is on Kickstarter through February 16th. So yeah, got some cool crowdfunding right now.
Yeah. So 3 amazing new books.
There were a lot of good books this week. A lot of good books this week. It was hard to make my decisions.
I know. And I went with Minor Arcana #5 from Jeff Lemire. It was my
which
number
was
1
very
pick.
good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. And then Batman and Robin Year One from Mark Waid and Chris Samney was my number two.
Also very good.
And then Eve Ewing is just killing it on Exceptional X-Men. Um,
Amazing.
Number five. I don't know why I put number five way at the end of their names, but
It was so, so good.
yes, agreed. Let's see here. Oh yeah. What were your top three?
Well, Kelly Sue and David Lopez
Yeah.
continue to just absolutely make my day with FML every time it comes out. FML number three, Kelly Sue DeConnick, David Lopez, punk rock mom, and a son who has mysteriously turned into a big. I don't want to call him a werewolf because I don't know that he turns back. A big hairy monster type creature, but that doesn't stop him from at least trying to play bass, but it's harder with claws and yeah, just coolness.
That's awesome.
Coolness and a book so much for this moment in time.
Right?
I love this book so much. Um, but I mean that's Kelly Sue. Kelly
Yep.
Sue just comes out, drops the mic. That's what she does.
Just
Which is how one of the best intros to a mystery, like a serial killer mystery, fell to number two on my list. Scott Snyder and Jock's book, new book at Distillery, You Won't Feel a Thing, which follows a near the end of his life detective with a brain tumor living in assisted living, with that one case that he still hasn't solved, that might be closer to home than he'd realized.
right.
So yeah, the first issue was just out of this world. So I'm very interested to see where this goes. And then buddy Chris Condon with Alessandro Capuccio, Ultimate Wolverine number one. I don't even know what to say about this. This was
I agree.
fucking. This is just fucking crazy
It was awesome.
and awesome. Yeah,
Yes, it was crazy. I will agree with you there.
it was just nuts and awesome, and I love it, and I can't wait to see what happens next.
Yeah.
So great responsibility this week is we're gonna talk some One Piece.
Hey, I just want to check.
We're both with them on the train.
Are you still recording? I don't see the recording light up anymore.
Uh-oh. I know I didn't tell. Yeah, I am.
Okay, good. I normally see it in the corner of my screen.
Okay.
I don't see it right now. Okay, good.
No
All
technical difficulties. We just thought we had technical difficulties, but we don't have technical difficulties because we're awesome.
Perfect. But yes, our One Piece race, we are so close to each other.
372 to 374. We're both on a train in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah. So imagine this, like if you can imagine like a speed train crossing the ocean, and there's a track in the water, right? I mean,
right. I mean, we met this train before on our way to Water 7.
Yeah, but we never really talked about it then. But
now we're having a like Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade style like train fight on this train.
Yep. It's great. I am at the part where that dude turns into a centaur, but his like legs come out the wrong way.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
I do, but I remember more how the centaur went down. So
yeah, I'm right at the part. So I haven't got that how he went down yet. But
yeah, he wound up not being as cool as he thought he was.
It just was funny when he turned himself into a centaur. His legs went the wrong way.
Yeah. I love Sanji getting upset with the guy who calls himself a cook. He's like, "You're not a real cook.
You're not a cook."
Wait, I thought you just kicked. No, when I'm in a kitchen and I'm dealing with food, I'm allowed to use knives.
Yep, because the guy thought he was only kicking, right? His technique was only kicking.
Well, but and
Um,
then
well,
then
because
the
that
guy
guy
turned
was,
himself into ramen noodles.
yeah, he was noodles, right? And then Sandy just like and just makes a spaghetti out of him. It was pretty awesome.
And Luffy and Zolo coming up from behind
Yeah.
on
Well,
the experimental sea train.
yeah, they gave it a name. I can't remember what it was. Like something Tom.
No, Tom is the actual train.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. But yeah, they had names for the trains.
Yeah. And
This is,
I think we will soon learn a lot more about Nico Robin.
I hope so. Because she's
Um,
yeah.
I mean, you're 2 chapters ahead of me,
Or behind
so
you.
I don't, yeah, behind me. So I don't know if I want to spoil. Are you okay with a mild spoiler?
Of course. Yeah, sure.
Okay, so the thing that we just learned and why I expect the next flashback sequence to be a Nico Robin one is that apparently because she's capable of using this big weapon, she was first um that's what I'm looking for, sentenced to death at 8
Yep.
just because of who she is.
Oh wow.
So essentially, her entire life, she's been a wanted criminal just because she happens to be able to use this ancient weapon. So that I'm interested to see how that has shaped who and what she is
Hmm.
because um, can you even imagine that?
Oh no.
Your entire life, just continuing to breathe makes you an outlaw.
Exactly.
Of course you're gonna like
Rebel.
well, rebel and wind up with interesting morals and interesting allegiances and loyalty issues and trust issues and
There we go.
so
Have,
I'm really curious to see how he's going to handle that because he's really handled most of the backstories really in cool ways.
yeah, they've been really
Um,
unique for sure.
and like at least where we're at, she's still not being willing to go back to the One Piece gang. But
No.
we have learned that the entire reason she left was to try to protect them.
Hmm.
Um,
Which then spurs Luffy on to go get her, you know.
right. I mean, he was going to do that anyway, but now it's like it's easy to convince the crew.
Yep. Yep.
Because Luffy, I mean, again, that's one of the things we love about Luffy is he never gives up on anybody. If he decides you're good, you're good.
Hmm. And it feels like once you're in his little pirate crew, you're in for life. You know, even if you say
Right.
you're out in Luffy's head,
Right.
you're one of the guys, you
Right.
know.
Well, and that's Usopp,
Yep.
who's now the Sniper King.
Yep.
It's a cool mask.
It is. Yeah.
I like the mask. I'm wondering if that's like just Usopp's way of saving face. I wonder if it's like I want to go back, but I swore that I was leaving the crew, so I can only go back as Sniper King. I can't go back as Usopp.
True. That could be.
Um, I mean, again, this is just it's fun, it's hilarious, but it's also like an examination of so many of the rules we create for ourselves in society,
True. I can see that.
morals and ethics,
Yeah.
you know,
Hmm.
um, and not just like having morals and ethics, but like digging into what they mean and why we do them.
Yeah.
Um, but doing it kind of on the down low in the midst of ridiculous action.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be entertaining. It's manga, you know.
I mean, it doesn't have to be. You could. I mean, manga does all sorts of stuff, dude.
I know. I know it's all over the place.
Right.
But this one,
And it certainly doesn't have to be this kind of entertaining,
no,
but you and I are both teachers. We know how important it can be to sometimes find the way to trick people into thinking about things.
exactly.
That's what it is. I mean, there's some big questions that are raised by this and explored by this. Um, and at some point, it is probably even worth like a real dissection where we try to figure that out. But I don't have the energy to go back yet.
Okay,
Uh,
I'd be
I
down.
feel like a year after the race, we'll look back and we'll like big questions raised by One Piece and where and how. And I should
Yeah.
start taking notes now.
One Piece notes. Uh,
Right.
crazy.
Because again, I mean, that's the craziest thing about One Piece to me so far is like we're joking a lot about how long it is and how much of a task it sometimes is to read it all, etc. I can see wanting to read it again.
Oh, wow. I don't think I will.
There is so much layered in here that I could see wanting to pick through it again. Probably not at the same breakneck pace, that
Yeah,
sort of thing. I could see wanting to book club it a volume at a time to really flesh out
really
like
dig deep.
what's
Yep,
right.
I
Um,
can see that.
I mean, we started this as a silly exercise, and I'm seeing enough more in it that it's like, oh, I don't want to abandon our silly exercise, but in some ways, because of the silly exercise we're doing, I'm not digging as deep as I might if we were doing it differently.
Correct.
But I
I agree.
also don't want to change it, so we devote a significant part of every episode to a volume of One Piece right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, we just wouldn't get done.
But I could see doing like a monthly book club that lasted,
Years.
yeah, it would. It'd be at least 2 years.
Yeah.
Probably at least three. No, it'd be. I think if I did the monthly book club, I'd want to do. They've been re-releasing them as like 3 volume sets.
Oh,
So I think that would be the way I'd do it. It'd be like 3 volumes per week. But they've got like 100 of the 3 volume
yeah, that's a lot.
versions.
Yeah. So,
Um,
oh, funny.
but yeah,
Oh,
it's been a fun ride. I'm
yeah.
looking forward to more.
Oh, I am
We'll
shivering.
talk
Sorry.
some more next week.
Yeah, we're going to be doing One Piece a little more in depth next week.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Hopefully either Nico Robin will be back or we'll know a lot more about her.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. So,
What are 3 books you hope will be spectacular next week, Ted?
well, I had to cheat again because Tom King's got 2 books coming out.
Right.
Um, but Spencer Ackerman, Javier Pina, and Rod Reese take my top spot with Iron Man #4, which has just been ridiculous. Can't believe I had to cheat and I still have all Marvel and DC books. But it
That's
also
awesome.
looks like it's also it's kind of a light week.
Yeah.
Um, #2 is where I cheat because I have both Wonder Woman #17 and Black Canary Best of the Best #3 by Tom King, Danielson Perry on Wonder Woman, Ryan Sook on Black Canary. And that's the only reason that Kelly Thompson is third because having 2 books, including the Wonder Woman that I love, allowed Tom to slide in front of Absolute Wonder Woman #4
Right.
from Kelly Thompson and Hayden Sherman. Um, we also have collections for Astro City Metro Book #6, and Backtrack by Brian Jones and Jake Elphick, which is I want to say it's a 10 or 12 issue, like time travel road race series from One
Hmm. Yep.
that I just loved when it came out. Um, it would definitely be a worthwhile thing to read together at some point.
Okay. That sounds awesome. I would do it.
Yeah.
All right. My number one is Black Hammer Spiral City, number three from Jeff Lemire and Teddy Christensen from Dark Horse. I'm really looking forward to where Inspector Insector is going on this next one.
Yeah.
He's my favorite.
Yeah, he's
And
cool.
then, yeah, Epitaph from the Abyss continues to kill it with number seven coming up from Jordan Thomas and Cullen Bunn and Chris Condon and Andrea Sorrentino and Valeria Burzo and Andrea Moody. And
Or
then
Condon.
did I forget one?
No, I said more Condon.
More Condon. Oh, I thought.
Yeah.
And then the Patchwork Girl of Oz is awesome. I love the story. So I'm really looking forward to
It's
this.
one of my favorite Oz books, so I'm looking forward to the comic too.
Yeah, this is from Otis Frampton from Image. Yeah, I like the artwork. The cover looked really cool. I like the Patchwork Girl. I read my daughter these Oz stories, and we'd really get into them together, you know.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's 167 weekly episodes in the book.
Right. Yep.
You want to take us out?
Sure. All right, guys. Thanks for listening, and we will catch you after the next page. Later. Hey guys, this is Tyler from 22 Panels. I'm here to tell you all about our Patreon. If you enjoy this show, please consider donating to our Patreon to keep this show going. We have many different tiers, all different levels to help you decide what's right for you. Okay, so get on out there to patreon.com/22 Panels Podcast.